The air in FluffTown often feels heavy, thick with the unspoken, a quiet hum. Today, however, an unsettling tremor runs through the stately building's very foundations. A resident stands before the crew, his eyes wide and unblinking, an eerie stillness about him. He claims the elevator, a seemingly innocuous machine, has stolen his very voice, a chilling pronouncement. His words emerge as mere whispers, fragile and thin, barely audible above the building's low thrum. He points to his throat, where the skin appears unmarred, yet a phantom bruise seems to linger. The crew observes his subtle shiver, a silent testament to an invisible violation he has endured. His posture is rigid, almost petrified, as if fear has locked his muscles in a permanent grip. A strange, metallic scent, like old copper and ozone, permeates the otherwise sterile lobby air. The building itself seems to breathe with a slow, deliberate rhythm, a vast, living entity. Its walls absorb the light, making the polished marble feel cold and strangely porous beneath their touch. A faint, low-frequency vibration pulses through the floor, resonating deep within their bones. This hum is not mechanical. It feels organic, like a vast stomach slowly, patiently digesting. The resident's gaze remains fixed, reflecting a profound despair that words can no longer convey. Luma touches his arm, her expression a mix of concern and an underlying familia unesa. Tick scans the surroundings with his chronometer, sensing minute distortions in the temporal flow. Moss studies the man's face, seeking patterns in his distress, a hidden truth behind his silence. Pock stands ready, his tools a silent promise of intervention, a bulwark against the unknown forces. Stitch, ever observant, notices a tiny, almost imperceptible tear in the man's perfectly pressed lapel. The building's soft, muted lighting casts long, distorted shadows, deepening the sense of growing dread. This isn't just a malfunction, it is a deeper disturbance, a chilling whisper from the town's core. The elevator doors, polished brass, reflect their worried faces like distorted, silent observers. They feel the building's weight, its immense, silent presence, pressing down on their very spirits. The resident finally blinks, a slow, painful movement, revealing eyes, now filled with a desperate plea. He gestures weakly towards the elevator, a silent indictment of the gleaming, innocent-looking machine. The hum intensifies slightly, a low growl from deep within the building's unseen depths. This isn't a place of comfort. It's a cage of velvet, where safety is merely a sophisticated illusion. FluffTown whispers its secrets through static, through tremors, through the quiet desperation of its people. The crew understands. Another layer of the town's deceptive tranquility begins to fray and peel away. They must investigate the elevator, venturing into the mechanical heart of this unsettling mystery. The elevator car itself gleams, its interior spotless, yet an oppressive chill clings to the air. Luma examines the control panel, her fingers tracing the smooth, cool surface of the buttons. Distinct, worn spots mar the polished steel where numbers should be, but no engravings exist. These ghostly imprints suggest forgotten floors, destinations erased from the public consciousness. Tick activates his chronometer, an intricate device designed to measure temporal shifts and anomalies. He initiates a test run, sending the empty car on a full cycle, meticulously counting its stops. The elevator descends, pauses, and then continues, its quiet journey defying architectural blueprints. Tick's brow furrows. His device registers more stops than the building's known structural height allows. The digital display flickers, showing numbers that appear and vanish too quickly to comprehend fully. A subtle disorientation washes over the crew, a feeling of spatial logic being quietly undone. Luma opens a maintenance hatch, revealing a tangle of wires and conduits, pulsing faintly. She traces the main power lines, her hand guided by instinct and years of mechanical expertise. Her fingers brush against a hidden junction, obscured by layers of dust and cleverly disguised plating. Here, a secondary circuit branches off, snaking downwards, bypassing the standard basement connections. This hidden route suggests a deliberate obfuscation, a clandestine path to unseen destinations. The wires themselves are woven with unfamiliar materials, dark fibers intertwined with copper strands. Stitch reaches in, his nimble fingers testing the tensile strength of these strange, organic threads. They feel unnervingly resilient, almost alive, vibrating faintly with an unknown, internal energy. Moss kneels, pressing her ear to the cool metal floor, listening intently to the building's deeper rhythms. She hears a faint, rhythmic pulse, like a slow, deep breath, emanating from below the structure. Pox checks the emergency brake system, ensuring their descent can be halted if necessary. He finds the mechanism strangely stiff, as if rarely used, or perhaps subtly tampered with. The air grows heavier, laden with the metallic temps, and a faint, sweet, cloying aroma. It smells like old, forgotten memories, trapped within the building's cold, unfeeling steel shell. The worn spots on the panel seem to glow faintly under Luma's inspection light, hinting at lost knowledge. Each missing number represents a forgotten truth, a floor erased from FluffTown's collective memory. The crew exchanges worried glances, acknowledging the palpable sense of an encroaching, unseen presence. Tick recalibrates his chronometer, preparing for a deeper descent, a journey into temporal uncertainty. He adjusts the settings, anticipating distortions, knowing time itself might bend in this place. Luma prepares her tools, her resolve hardening, a quiet determination burning in her eyes. She knows this isn't just a repair. It's an archaeological dig into FluffTown's hidden layers. Moss gathers samples of the dust, examining them under a portable microscope, searching for clues. The dust reveals microscopic fibers, dark and shimmering, unlike anything found in normal building debris. Pox tests the structural integrity of the elevator shaft, his movements precise and confident. He feels a subtle shift in the air pressure, a faint suction pulling downwards, urging them deeper. Stitch secures their equipment, his hands moving with practiced efficiency, preparing for the unknown. He feels a prickling sensation on his skin, a subtle warning from his intuitive connection to the town. The residents' unblinking stare lingers in their minds, a silent plea echoing in the quiet space. They step into the elevator, the doors hissing shut behind them with a soft, ominous finality. The silence inside the car is profound, broken only by the faint hum of the descending mechanism. Luma presses the lowest visible button, but her gaze drifts to the worn, unnumbered spots. She wonders what secrets lie beyond the known, what forgotten levels await their intrusion. Tick watches his chronometer, its display already beginning to flicker erratically. A bad omen. The car shudders slightly, a deep, resonant tremor that seems to shake their very foundations. Moss closes her eyes for a moment, sensing the building's pulse. It's slow, deliberate intake of breath. It feels like the town is holding its breath, anticipating their journey into its hidden depths. Pox stands vigilant, his senses heightened, prepared for any sudden, unforeseen danger that may arise. Stitch runs a hand over the cold metal wall, feeling the faint vibrations, the building's silent song. The lights inside the car dim momentarily, then brighten with an unsettling, yellowish hue. This subtle shift in illumination casts strange, elongated shadows, making the space feel alien. The air becomes noticeably colder, carrying a faint scent of damp earth and something indefinable. They descend further, leaving the familiar hum of the upper floors far behind, plunging into obscurity. The pressure in their ears begins to build, a subtle but insistent throb, mirroring the building's pulse. This sensation is not merely atmospheric. It feels like a mental weight, a silent communication. The elevator car creaks, a sound like old bones shifting deep within the earth's embrace. They are no longer simply riding. They are entering a different domain, a place outside time. The building's hum transforms into a low, guttural thrum, resonating through the very floor beneath them. It feels less like machinery and more like a vast, hungry throat slowly, deliberately swallowing them whole. The lights flicker again, casting fleeting glimpses of the polished walls, now seeming to ripple. They pass the known basement, plunging deeper into a darkness that seems to absorb all sound. The descent continues, an endless fall into the unknown, a journey beyond FluffTown's perceived reality. The pressure intensifies, a silent scream building in their ears as the true depth reveals itself. The elevator drops past blueprint reality into the very heart of the town's buried, forgotten truths. The car plunges into a realm where the laws of architecture seem to bend and then finally break. The polished steel walls of the elevator car begin to shimmer, reflecting distorted, elongated shadows. A strange, warm glow emanates from the ceiling panels, no longer stark white, but a soft, golden amber. This light pulses gently, reminiscent of candlelight flickering deep within a cavernous, living throat. The air grows thick with an earthy, mineral scent, mingling with something metallic and vaguely sweet. Moss presses her hands against her temples, the pressure in her ears now an insistent, throbbing ache. It feels as if the very air around them is solidifying, becoming dense with unseen, profound thought. The town itself seems to be thinking, its ancient, hidden mechanisms, processing forgotten memories. A low, resonant thrum vibrates through the floor, a sound like a giant, slumbering heart beating slowly. The elevator's descent is no longer smooth. It shudders and groans, resisting an unseen force. Tick's chronometer glows erratically, its numerical display flashing incomprehensible symbols and He glances at Luma, his eyes wide with a mixture of awe and growing apprehension regarding this journey. Luma grips the control panel, her knuckles white, her gaze fixed on the unseen depths below them. She feels a subtle pull, a magnetic force, drawing them deeper into the building's hidden consciousness. Pox stands braced, his muscles tensed, ready to react to any sudden lurch or unexpected obstruction. He senses an immense, watchful presence, a silent guardian of the secrets buried beneath. Stitch closes his eyes, his sensitive hands feeling the subtle shifts in the car's metallic skin. He perceives a faint, rhythmic whisper, like ancient, forgotten words carried on a subterranean wind. The golden light intensifies, bathing their faces in an eerie, warm glow, distorting their features. Shadows dance around them, elongating, twisting into grotesque, fleeting shapes on the car walls. The pressure in Moss's ears culminates in a sharp, internal asterisk, pop asterisk, a silent release of immense tension. She gasps, her eyes flying open, as if a profound thought has just been violently transferred to her. The elevator finally slows, its descent becoming a gentle glide before coming to a soft, silent halt. The low thrumming fades, replaced by a profound, echoing silence, heavy with anticipation and dread. The warm, amber light remains, illuminating the car with an unsettling, almost organic luminescence. A faint, earthy aroma, tinged with something metallic and vaguely sweet, fills the now still air. They are suspended in an unknown space, far beyond FluffTown's familiar, comforting facade. The doors hiss open with a slow, deliberate motion, revealing a sight that defies all reason. Before them stretches a long, dimly lit corridor, bathed in the same unsettling, amber glow. The walls are lined with a seemingly endless row of identical, dark wooden doors, tightly shut. Each door bears a small, tarnished brass plaque, engraved with a single, unfamiliar name. As Luma steps out, her eyes scan the plaques, a growing sense of unease creeping into her heart. She stops at one, her breath catching. The name etched into the brass is almost her own. Lumina? It reads, a subtle variation, yet undeniably close, a chilling echo of her identity. Tick finds his own name, Tick, Tick, emblazoned on another door, causing a shiver to run through him. Moss sees Morsel on a plaque, a playful nickname from her childhood, now imbued with dark significance. Pox discovers Pact, a stark, singular word that resonates with his own deep-seated loyalties. Stitch finds his name, Stitcher, on a plaque, its simple presence an unsettling confirmation. These names feel like distorted reflections, alternate versions of themselves, held captive here. The corridor itself feels ancient, yet strangely preserved, as if time moves differently within. A faint, dry scent of old paper and dust, mingled with something metallic, hangs in the air. Pox notices subtle scratch marks near the frames of several doors, faint but undeniably present. These marks suggest desperate attempts to escape, silent screams against an unyielding barrier. Someone tried to get out? Their frantic efforts leaving ghostly traces on the polished wood. The marks are deep in places, gouging the wood, betraying a frantic, desperate struggle for freedom. Stitch runs his hand over the wallpaper, his sensitive fingers tracing the intricate patterns. His eyes widen in recognition. The repeating motif matches the stylized F of the foundation seal. The pattern, usually subtle, here feels overtly deliberate. A brand of ownership stamped everywhere. This floor, this entire corridor, is a hidden archive, a silent testament to the foundation's reach. Moss examines the floor, noticing the subtle unevenness of the ancient, polished stone tiles. She kneels, pressing her ear to the ground, listening for any telltale sounds from behind the doors. A faint, almost imperceptible hum emanates from within the walls, a soft, rhythmic vibration. It sounds like a vast, unseen mechanism, perpetually running, maintaining this impossible space. Luma tries the handle of a door bearing a stranger's name, but it remains firmly locked and unyielding. The brass feels cold beneath her touch, radiating an oppressive stillness, a profound sense of finality. Tick's chronometer pulses with a weak, irregular beat, struggling to measure the distorted timeline. He senses pockets of missing time, minutes stolen from reality, stored behind these silent doors. The air in the corridor feels heavy, thick with unspoken narratives, with forgotten truths. Each door represents a hidden story, a suppressed memory, a piece of FluffTown's true history. The crew moves cautiously, their footsteps echoing softly in the profound, unsettling silence. Their breath hangs visible in the cool air, like transient, fragile clouds of their own living presence. The names on the doors seem to shift slightly in the amber light, almost whispering their secrets. A profound sense of dread settles over them, a realization of the true nature of this hidden floor. This is where the unwanted truths are stored, where inconvenient realities are quietly filed away. The building is not merely swallowing voices. It is consuming identities, shaping its own narrative. They are trespassers in a silent library of suppressed knowledge, a vault of stolen moments. The walls seem to watch them. The foundation seal pattern a myriad of unblinking, silent eyes. Pax tests the integrity of the door frames, finding them reinforced with an unknown, resilient alloy. He notes the precise, almost surgical construction, designed for containment, not for access. Stitch feels a cold prickle along his spine, a premonition of danger, a warning from his intuition. He notices a subtle, almost imperceptible discoloration on the door nearest to the elevator. It is a faint, dark stain, resembling a dried tear, or perhaps a drop of something more sinister. Moss reaches out, her fingers hovering over a door, feeling a faint, almost imperceptible chill. She senses a profound sadness emanating from within, a trapped emotion yearning for release. The corridor seems to stretch into infinity, an endless procession of forgotten lives and identities. This is the town's subconscious, its repressed memories manifested as tangible, sealed realities. Luma finally speaks, her voice a hushed whisper, breaking the heavy silence with her determination. "We need to fix the cable," she states, reminding them of their original, urgent purpose here. The elevator cable, their lifeline, remains their primary concern, their only path back to reality. They must work quickly before this impossible floor claims them as another one of its silent residents. The task feels monumental, shadowed by the oppressive weight of the surrounding, sealed histories. They turn back to the elevator car. Its open doors, a beacon of hope in the unsettling corridor. The cable mechanism is located in a small, recessed alcove beside the elevator entrance. Luma pulls out her specialized tools, their metallic gleam reflecting the amber light strangely. She inspects the heavy-duty cable, the thick strands woven with precision and strength. Her eyes narrow. Between the metallic wires, dark, organic fibers are unmistakably braided. These fibers are identical to the ones she found in the secondary circuit, pulsing faintly. They are not merely part of the cable. They are intertwined, almost growing asterisk within its structure. The dark fibers seem to glisten with a viscous sheen, like black sap, subtly oozing from the core. This liquid is thick, almost tar-like, emitting a faint, sweet, cloying odor that fills the alcove. It feels like living debt, an unpaid toll, seeping from the very infrastructure of FluffTown itself. Rumato whoosh, a fiber and a subtle warmth radiates from it, an unnerving, organic vitality. The cable hums with a low, internal frequency, distinct from the building's ambient thrum. This strange, living current flows through the cable, influencing the elevator's deeper descent. Luma begins her delicate work, carefully separating the braided strands, her tools glinting. She aims to bypass the organic fibers, to restore the cable to its purely mechanical function. As she works, the dark sap-like substance begins to bleed more freely, coating her gloved hands. It feels strangely warm, almost sentient, adhering to the metallic tools with unsettling tenacity. Tick watches his chronometer, its hands now visibly ticking backward, a chilling reversal of time. Minutes are not just missing. They are actively being unwound, erased from their current reality. The elevator car shudders, not with dissent, but with a deliberate, internal locking mechanism engaging. A faint asterisk click asterisk echoes through the corridor, followed by a deeper, resonant asterisk thunk asterisk from the shaft. The doors of the elevator car begin to slowly, inexorably close, threatening to trap them inside. Pox quickly wedges a pry bar between the closing doors, straining against the immense, unseen force. The building itself seems to resist their presence, its hidden will asserting its dark authority. Luma works faster, her movements precise, trying to complete the repair before they are sealed in. The black sap pulses faintly on the cable, its viscous surface shimmering with a dark inner light. Stitch, sensing the urgency, begins to craft a makeshift jammer from his thread and spare wire. He weaves it tight in toriketa notto, imbuing it with his focused intent, a small act of defiance. Moss searches for an alternate escape route, her eyes scanning the solid, unyielding walls. She feels the building's silent hunger, its desire to absorb them into its vast, unblinking memory. The pressure on Pox's pry bar intensifies. The doors groan, inching closer with relentless force. Tick's watch has now completely reversed, its hands spinning wildly backward. A temporal vortex. He feels a momentary dizziness, a fleeting sense of his own past rushing to meet his present. Luma secures the last connection, bypassing the dark fibers, restoring the motor's primary circuit. The cable briefly stills, then hums with a purer, more mechanical energy, a momentary victory. But the doors continue to close, and the walls hum with a predatory growl from the building's deep core. Their breath catches in their throats, a shared realization of the profound danger now surrounding them. The metallic taps in the air grows sharper, mingling with the sweet, cloying aroma of the black sap. Luma wipes a bead of sweat from her brow, her focus unwavering, despite the mounting pressure. She senses the building's consciousness pushing back, actively resisting their intervention at every turn. Pox braces himself, prepared to physically force the doors open if the jammer fails to hold them. The air crackles with unseen energy, a tension so thick it feels almost suffocating within the corridor. Stitch's nod glows faintly, a small beacon of their collective will against the immense, dark power. Moss closes her eyes, reaching out with her senses, trying to find a weakness in the building's defenses. She feels an ancient, cold intelligence observing their struggle, calculating their every desperate move. Suddenly, a soft asterisk creak asterisk breaks the tension, drawing their eyes to the far end of the corridor. One of the silent, anonymous doors now stands ajar, a sliver of profound darkness within its frame. A palpable wave of icy air spills from the opening, carrying with it the scent of dust and forgotten things. It breathes a cold, ancient breath, beckoning them into its unknown depths. A silent invitation. The door reveals a glimpse of an inner room, shrouded in shadow, yet hinting at untold secrets. Driven by a morbid curiosity, Pax cautiously approaches, his pry bar still wedged in the elevator doors. He pushes the door further open, revealing a chamber filled with discarded, gleaming objects. The room is a silent graveyard of perfect, unused parts, fixes that were never truly applied. Gears, springs, polished panels, all pristine and flawless, lie scattered across the dusty floor. These are FluffTown's rejected solutions. Its inconvenient truths, deemed unworthy of implementation. A faint, ethereal glow emanates from a small, ornate music box in the center of the room. As they step inside, a recorded message activates his voice, smooth, synthesized, and eerily calm. Maintenance is obedience. The voice intones, echoing through the chamber, chilling them to the core. Disobedience leads to obsolescence. It continues, a cold, unwavering statement of the Foundation's creed. The words hang in the air, a silent judgment on their very act of investigation and repair. This room is a warning, a stark reminder of FluffTown's true, unyielding nature, its rigid control. Moss feels a profound sadness here, a tangible weight of all the undone good, the rejected healing. The discarded parts seem to whisper, their unused potential, a chorus of silent, mournful cries. Tick's chronometer briefly flashes a single word, stolen, before reverting to its backward spin. Luma recognizes some of the parts, components for a true filtration system, a genuine energy conduit. She sees blueprints for sustainable systems, designs that would genuinely heal, not merely sedate. These forgotten plans represent the town's lost potential, its path deliberately steered away from truth. The music box plays a slow, melancholic tune, its notes echoing the sorrow of discarded purpose. The air in the room feels heavy with regret as the chilling mantra, maintenance is obedience, repeats. The elevator doors behind them are now almost fully closed, the gap barely wide enough to escape. A sudden surge of adrenaline propels Pox into action. He lunges for the elevator's brake release. With a grunt, he brute forces the mechanism, overriding the building's attempt to seal them in. The metallic shriek of stressed components fills the air as the brake reluctantly disengages. Simultaneously, Stitch thrusts his woven knot of thread and wire into the control panel's circuits. The improvised jammer sparks and crackles, disrupting the locking sequence, creating a momentary glitch. The elevator doors shudder, then slowly, agonizingly, begin to reopen, offering a narrow path. Go! Luma shouts, her voice urgent, as they scramble back into the now resisting elevator car. Moss pauses at the threshold of the discarded room, her heart aching for the forgotten possibilities. She plucks a sprig of living green from her pocket, a tiny, vibrant contrast to the sterile decay. With a silent prayer, she places the sprig gently on the impossible floor, a small act of defiance. This living marker symbolizes hope, a silent promise of return, a defiance against permanent erasure. The doors are still fighting them, groaning as they try to close again. But the jammer holds. Pox slams the ascent button, his hand firm, demanding their return from this buried nightmare. The car lurches upwards, its ascent rough and jarring, a violent escape from the building's grip. They rise, leaving the corridor of forgotten names, the room of rejected truths behind them. The amber light fades, replaced by the familiar, yet now unsettling, clinical white of the upper floors. The pressure in their ears slowly subsides, the building's silent thoughts retreating from their minds. They breathe deeply, a collective exhale of profound relief, believing their ordeal finally concluded. Their escape feels like a frantic dash, a desperate flight from the Foundation's silent, watchful gaze. But the relief is fleeting, a fragile shield against a deeper, more insidious truth that now emerges. A new, unsettling weight shifts subtly in the corner shadow of the ascending elevator car. It is an unseen presence, a silent passenger, a chilling echo of the impossible floor's dark reality. The air within the car grows heavy again, thick with the cloying scent of black sap and old death. A faint, rhythmic asterisk drip asterisk sounds from above, barely audible over the ascending motor's hum. No one speaks. A profound, shared dread settles upon the crew, a silent acknowledgement of intrusion. The elevator continues its upward journey, carrying its human cargo and something else unseen. The light flickers once more, briefly plunging the car into near darkness. Then, restoring the stark white, the doors finally hiss open, revealing the familiar, unsuspecting lobby, bathed in an artificial calm. They step out, their faces pale, their minds reeling from the profound revelations of their descent. The resident who lost his voice is gone, replaced by a silent, unblinking security guard. Luma glances up, her eyes drawn to a faint, dark smear on the ceiling of the elevator car. It is a viscous trail of black sap, slowly dripping, a chilling signature of their unwelcome passenger. The liquid glistens, reflecting the lobby lights, a stark, undeniable proof of what rode up with them. The sap slowly elongates, forming a perfect tear, a living debt unleashed into the building hums, a low, satisfied purr, as if it has finally claimed a piece of their reality. The crew exchanges knowing glances, realizing their escape was merely another, more complex trap. They are no longer just fixing. They are unraveling a sentient town, uncovering its dark appetite. The black sap continues to drip, a silent promise of future encounters, a looming, dark presence. FluffTown breathes, and something else, from beneath its gentle facade, exhales a chilling, silent threat.